Okay, let's start with the refuge prayer. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sangye childang zogi jognam la jangchu badu dagni kyapsu chi dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pancher sangye drupar sho.
뭐야? Lama jeno rinjen tsawe lama jeno nambada nyambe simje tamje lo chu zundro chu lamdan ro lam trubas chuna yi shi san chawara sinje labdas wasa sa ja chen bon choge mutu tabra sinje labdas so chanjo sinjo rumbo je ma je bonam ji ju je je ba nyamba me ba konde kondo pe wara shos. Okay, now welcome. Uh, Going directly reading the text, which is the verses 14. Okay. Okay, so then to be choosy namye lachene yinjun toba shirav yinyamya tela tene randi sopeju danan juwa kuwi ningdam yin.
After differentiating and examining the teachings we have studied, we find faults in the teachings of others and might believe this to be wisdom, but through this we accrue negative deeds. To train in pure view is my heart advice.
Okay. So, okay, let me speak first. My thoughts, 5 minutes, then rest of them individually. You're ready to share your own thoughts. Tube chuje namye la chen, shinju toba shirabi yinyamya. Tela tene randi sobe ju tanan juwa kubi nyingdami. I think now this is Longchenpa's, my understanding is, generally speaking, the study and investigation, it's wonderful things to do always, it has wonderful qualities, as Buddha mentioned too, study wisdom is very powerful. Um, it 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 helps to purify our ignorance, and the study wisdom is the best wealth, best friend, as Buddha mentioned. But sometimes when we just only always looking for through that for others' fault, then it's quite a bit challenges. So therefore, so Zaparu, I mean here, Longchen Ramcham's amazing mention about it, or sometimes it's rather than helping, and rather than creating more kind of negative deeds, so therefore, it is always to be respect for others' thoughts and others' views, others' belief, I always try to practice about here mentioned about this word, Tangnam, Tibetan word is called the Tangnam, pure vision. It says that?
Pure view.
Pure view.
Mm-hmm.
Pure view is actually the very not easy actually. It has a lot of uh, uh, it has its own lot of caution comes, you know. If somebody really understanding the pure view, and then it's no problem. Or sometimes pure view uh, can be sometimes the challenges there. Uh, so, but as an individual practitioner, as I have to have kind of the most important part is the pure view uh, um, for self, for others. Um, uh, so as a self-practice time, it's very important to have a pure view, actually. You know, when we are investigate, when we are kind of analyzing, then we needed some kind of uh, wisdom to be aware about all directions, all the kind of different things. So pure vision, pure view is actually I don't know, the most idea is about the essence of the practice of in the Vajrayana actually. You know, the Vajrayana point of view is a pure vision. Pure view is so important actually. You know, the essence of the practice in the Vajrayana is actually the pure view actually. It's quite a bit challenge myself too, but I'm doing my best, really, certain time. But I don't know how much I understood inside pure view through my meditation. Uh, I still have a lot of my own, lot of doubt about it, you know. So, but as an individual practitioner, individual realization or point of view, the pure view, it is actually uh, wonderful things to do. But it does not mean uh, investigations and so on. And also Buddha himself mentioned too, right? The teachings of the Buddhas too. Sechedar researching the Ligvartala Ngaya Kahas. In Tibetan saying, everything Buddha has investigate, as like a gold, like a gold, is a real gold or not, But it has to have some kind of a good intention, actually. That's necessarily. If they don't have a wrong intention, then it's quite a bit challenge. The intention should be a really kind of pure intentions in order to be investigated, whatever it is. So that can be uh, uh, meaningful, or rather than creating kind of negative deeds as a accumulation of negative merits. Uh, uh, so that's my thoughts. So let me, uh, anybody else too. My 5 minutes is gone.
Mm, you can say more.
Who would like to go? Who hasn't? I don't know. I wasn't here last week, but Rich, I haven't seen you in a while. Did you want to chime in first?
Sure. Does everyone hear me? Okay, great. Yeah, it's been a little while. I was sick, I was traveling, and then all of a sudden it was like, wow, feels like it's been well over a month since I've seen you all. So good to see you all and Happy New Year. And I think this passage really speaks to I think like why I'm here. Um, and maybe why a lot of us are here in that, life is complex and has a lot of different things. You don't really know, um, what to expect. And I think about, something another one of my teachers always tells us, and it's, to just be ready. And, um, And I think, Lama, you mentioned, meditation is such an important part of that in sort of preparing ourselves for to meet whatever conditions will arise in the day and cultivating that pure view. And, I think I'm still learning a lot about the yanas, and it seems that most of what I've learned in my studies of Buddhism have been along the Vajrayana sort of school of thought. And that is really coming back to that, coming back to that pure view idea that, um, I think for me, there's always like I'm a scientist at heart, and I seek to understand like the yes and the no's with the things that we encounter. But I think one of the things I've enjoyed along the Vajrayana is just just that is just like, you know, meditation and being in the view, or experiencing life from a pure view perspective provides this way of just, hopefully doing things right. And I think, Longchenpa is a lot of the things that he's written in these passages are a great guide. But I think what we've seen week after week is that we can really start to nitpick a lot of these passages, and ultimately it really just does come down to this pure view idea. So I think, I don't know, I feel like this passage really encompasses a lot of what we've been talking about during these meetings with these within this last within these last this section of readings. Um, so I don't really necessarily have a question, but I think it's a very encompassing statement for sure.
Here, would you like to chime in?
Oh boy. This feels over my head. Uh, Hello, everyone. Good to see you again. Um, so the first line talking about differentiating and examining the teachings, that's what Buddha said to do, right? He said, listen to what I have to say. I mean, and then contemplate it, meditate upon it, and what I don't know what the word what I can understand, and what makes uh, no, I'm not going to say what makes sense to me. That doesn't, because what rings true to me at this particular time, take it to heart. I think isn't that what he mostly said? You got to examine. At the same time, the next line, finding faults and other teachings. I think it looks to me maybe is it talking about pride, like, oh, I understand this, you don't get it, you know. And I might think I'm a smarty pants, and but through doing that, I'm actually accruing the negative deed, mostly maybe pride, thinking I know more than somebody else does. Um, I guess that's what I'm thinking. I might be wrong. Uh, um, but
So and I'm not quite sure to train in pure view. Okay. Um, I'm still not quite sure I know what pure view means. Does that mean pure view is not non-dual, not dualistic, maybe? And uh, I need some advice on this. What is a pure? Is not dualistic to not take things as real and permanent, and uh, is pure view have to do with emptiness in some fashion or another? So I guess my questions are, yeah, more into trying to understand how do we train in pure view by reading, you know, the teachings, the sutras and tantras and the masters, trying to is that what the training would be? There's a lot of questions in there. I'm sorry.
Well, it sounds like there's a couple of questions in there, but one of them I think is about what is pure view? What does that mean to train in pure view?
Well, I don't know actually the things, but I was thinking about as we all raise this question, what is the pure view? From my understanding and in the Vajrayana, view, or either way in the Sutrayana view, which we talk about always true truths and relative truths and ultimate truths, right? So, in my understanding is it's talking about the really the pure view. It is really talking about understanding of the ultimate state of the reality true nature. The ultimate reality nature is everything is equally same, whatever. It's only depends on the relative truth. Appearances is the different things are there. Different like a thought, different manifest, different energies, and our bodies, and manifest different forms, and the mind, and different thoughts there. Good and bad, and the positive and the negatives, and the reality is going back to the really deeper level and the really subtle level. At the ultimate level, everything is pure. It's come from the originally there. Different manifest, different ways there. So that's what my understanding actually, really. For like example, for like we every like that we are in the retreat, we every times we have to reciting this Vajrasattva sadhana. It is says everything is a Vajrasattva. When I look at everybody, so when my eye opens, all the practitioners there, different forms, they are different things, including the Rinpoche, the master himself, all of these many people, different things, there are different forms there. When I understanding what that means, the Vajrayana, the prayer says, everything is a pure, should be manifestation from the energy of the wisdom and dissolving into ourselves and so on. That's talking about this Vajrayana, very wonderful prayer, But that's what I see actually. The pure vision or the pure view, the aspect of the pure view is actually talking about the really the essence, the deeper, the true reality nature is the same, as like talking about as a pure view point of view. There is no existence of samsara either, which we are kind of struggling with all the time, right? There's no pure view point of view. There's no such as things as nirvana either, you know. It's beyond conceptual, beyond pure from the duality. That's that's what I see. Then you realize it as for my limitation about the meditation can be remain in that pure view state of mind, state of mind, insight meditation, you know. Like individual, I mean, for outside, for the other side, for my own thoughts, when I look at that, all this, if I understood of the really well enough, the really fundamental, the ultimate nature of the pure view of the everything. So everything is manifest from there. That's what the Mahamudra, that's what the Dzogchen Chamber says that, right? All the idea is about, So which you are not depends on that we are reaching there or not. We are understood deep, not just intellectually, from the inside meditation. I think so many of we all meditate, or we sometimes we reach there. I don't have any doubt with that. But how much we are really understood that and aware about it, we reach there. There's no doubt, each time. So there, that's what I say the pure view actually. The whole um uh it's quite a bit, I don't know. We have to it's a big question. What is actually what is it talking about it? Right? Oh, sorry, talking too.
No.
No, thank you, Lama.
I hope that will give you some idea. I don't know that to think.
Yeah, yeah.
Katie, did you want to chime in and elaborate on any of that?
I'm just thinking about this training part, what we're training in. Lama referred to Mahamudra and Zokpo and just thinking about not thinking. The perspective here is not the one where we are differentiating and examining as that type of meditation. The suggestion, as I understand, is that we find faults when we do this kind of thing, because that's the nature of differentiation and examination, is that there's a value, there's a good and a bad, or there's a this and a that,
Mm.
you know. We're settling with this and allowing the mind to settle, that discursive conceptual part that has such a trap hold on us, rather than engaging that part, letting it go, and training in that. And there's freedom in that. And I think it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort in not doing anything, right? We have to sit and just do that and be with that and not give up on that. And um, allow the knots to loosen themselves, right? Untangle themselves. That's all.
Thank you.
I guess what's coming up for me, I'm wondering, uh, I think of Longchenpa being a great like Rime master, and I wonder if, this is particularly, in response to the times that he was living in with a lot of the schools debating and kind of, trying to have the highest view, or, maybe like pointing out the Madhyama, maybe like a lot of Madhyamaka approach of like, debating to point out, the faults in others' view was maybe a very more popular or more, common way of asserting, your view or your knowledge. And he's trying to like remind people like you know, that's not really as important as actually being in the view. And I don't know, that's just what I was wondering about. Because most people probably wouldn't, if you're not a somewhat of a scholar, you wouldn't even, like you were saying, it wouldn't make sense what pure view even is, much less, not like differentiating it, Mahamudra, Dzogchen, Madhyamaka, which way is the best or something, who can kind of elucidate it the best instead of just being in it, or, like you're saying, just meditating, or as Katie was saying, restraining yourself from discursiveness about it. That's sort of what I was wondering.
There's a question in there, I think. About, is there a value judgment about, like a question about whether or not it's better to practice Mahamudra, Dzogchen, Madhyamaka than debate?
Well, I was wondering, I always wonder why he would make, I'm sort of curious about the context of his statement and his, the times he was living in, the little bit that I know. I think that there was, probably a lot of debates on that, and, sectarian debates, and, almost like that was uh, more seductive or more impressive to people than like actually residing in the pure view. Would be like, oh well, I can show you where your view is, you know I can see my view, I can point out how my view is higher than your view. And there were probably, I don't know, but I suspect there was a lot of debates going on in different schools, or maybe, you know
Maybe that's the
most
audience he's talking to.
yeah, because I thought, in a way, some of these are very, like a common person can appreciate, but it's almost like, I almost wonder, like, it's like when I hear people talk about quantum physics, and they're like, well, actually quantum physics is not the highest, there's something beyond quantum, and then it's like, well, okay, and then you got to have a name, and you kind of point out the faults in quantum, and then maybe there's something beyond that. But then if you're really a meditator, or you're really wanting to experience the pure view, the best thing would be just to keep quiet and, restrain your mind's discursiveness, or something. I don't know.
Well, with that, let's conclude with dedications.
Let's meditate for 30 minutes without discussing it further.
I think that everyone has the dedications sheet. We've been doing just short versions. So in the prayers after teachings, there's a dedication that starts Jongchup Semcho Rinpoche. So we'll do that one together. And we'll do it in English twice and then Tibetan once. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. Jongchup Semcho Rinpoche, ma ke panam ke gyoche, ke pa nyampa me payam, gong ne gong du pelwar sho.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Sorry, we have to leave. So, so we have to.
Well, thank you for being here. I must be like 5:30 in the morning. You get up to spend a half an hour with us. That's very wonderful of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Take care and see you next week.